What's up, everyone? I'm Coach D, and thanks to your continued support, the traffic to my page has been great. We're almost at 22,000 subscribers after hitting 20,000 subscribers just days ago. So thank you guys. Keep liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. I really do appreciate it. So anytime Donald Trump makes an asinine statement, there's typically an order that his supporters will follow in trying to defend those statements. They'll start with something like, he didn't say that. Then when it's proven he said it, they'll say, well, he said it, but he didn't mean it. He didn't mean it that way. And then they'll go to, well, you guys are overreacting. And then they'll resort to whataboutisms. So, of course, the Trump News Network is going to try to defend anything he says. So when it came out that he recently made the statement that he wishes his generals were like the generals in Germany during you-know-who's time, they jumped on it. Started out by saying he didn't say it, but then it was proven that he said it. So now they're at the point where they're saying he might have said it, but that's not how he meant it. Now listen to Brian Kilmeade try to defend Donald Trump. And he does the worst job anyone could ever do because Brian Kilmeade lacks the critical thinking skills and the intelligence to defend any statement at all.
The bottom line is, if you read H.R. McMaster's book, who is critical of President Trump in some of it and not in others, he talks about how Madison Kelly didn't like the president. And they didn't think he deserved the job, or they didn't think he was worthy of the job. And they went out of his way to make sure a lot of the things they asked him to do that they didn't like never got done. McMaster would be frustrated because he couldn't get their attention. And he would say, it's not your job to rein in the president. It's your job to do what the president wants. And then you factor in the fact that he runs his own company, coming from the business world, the first one we've ever had. It's not even a public company. And then he obviously has frustration. And I could absolutely see him go, now, you know what? It would be great to have German generals that actually do what we asked them to do, knowing that's a third, maybe not fully being cognizant of the third rail of German generals who are Nazis and whatever. But he was frustrated with the slowdown of
it wasn't just a slowdown. It was insubordination. And there is a culture within Washington, not just when it comes to the generals, who, by the way, should be fired after what happened in Afghanistan, of insubordination in the sense that the bureaucrats run the government. The founders did not design this country to be that way. Unelected people don't get to run the country, even if you have 4 stars behind your name. And I think they were very frustrated that you had this outside guy that says, listen, I'm in charge now.
So, maybe he said it, but he wasn't thinking in terms of Yahtzees or anything like that. And then, of course, the buck dancer Lawrence Jones has to jump in and say, yeah, they were being insubordinate. The reason why those generals were making decisions was because they were the experts. They're the people Donald Trump should be listening to. They weren't going rogue or anything like that. They were advising Donald Trump not to make idiotic mistakes because they were trying to be the guardrails for Donald Trump. And as Kamala Harris recently said, those guardrails will not be there if Donald Trump gets a second term. We should be thanking Milley and Mattis for not allowing Donald Trump to make some of the decisions he wanted to make, like considering nuking Mexico. Donald Trump is not a leader. Donald Trump is not an expert in anything. Donald Trump is nothing but a con man and a grifter. And many MAGAs and Republicans have fallen for it. And we are to be thankful that these generals didn't while they were in place, because I'm telling you right now, the people that are in line to be his next generals are 100% yes men. He ran out of generals who have the critical thinking skills and the wherewithal to tell him no. Now he's on to people who will not tell him no, and we are in for some really bad times if Donald Trump becomes president again. Because again, no one will be there to tell him no. He will surround himself with MAGAs and QAnons and yes men. Period.
Don't want no enemies or ops. Envy in their heart, I tell them stop. Vacation on the yacht.